Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie and today we are talking about having our lives together by our late 20s and thinking that that is normal and everything is going to be done before we're 30. That's the gist of today's video. I thought I'd have my life figured out by now, but I don't. Career, finances, buying a house, all of that. And no, it's so different. Like, I remember growing up.
When I'm like 21, I'm gonna be married, I'm gonna have like 3 kids, I'm gonna have like a big mansion and like all these things.
And then you get to 21 and you're like, hell no, that is not happening. So yeah, I genuinely thought I would have everything together by the time I was in my late 20s. I'm not behind. Like, I don't think anyone can really be behind. You can't be behind in a life that is your own. Like, how? How could you be behind? Yes, there's other people doing different things, and they might have the house, or they might have the family, or, you know, they might have the dog that can do tricks, but that's their timeline. You can't be behind on your own timeline. That doesn't really make sense. I try to think of it this way. If you have everything figured out by the time you're 30, what are you gonna do for the rest of your life? Like, really, if you have it all figured out, what are you gonna look forward to? Maybe the problem is that we all put too much pressure on ourselves to have all the answers figured out. So firstly, I wanted to talk about career uncertainty. I genuinely thought I would have my entire life settled, planned, sorted, done, everything done by the time I was in my late 20s. Whoa, we're not there yet. But instead, I have more questions than I do answers. And surely I'm not the one who only feels this way. Please comment down below if you do. If you're in your mid-20s, in your late 30s, this technically applies for like any time in life. There's not actually a timeline that you need to follow. Particularly one area, if you saw my last video, you'll get a little bit more context. In particular with your career, like going forward and having it all figured out. I think we are definitely sold this idea or plan that you get your degree, you get the job you want, and then you're in your career. No one really talks about when you get the degree or you're going halfway through the degree and you're like, oh, don't really know if I want to do this, but I've already committed. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's good to commit to something and complete it through to fruition. No one really talks about what happens when your goals change, because goals change all the time. And you can still be grateful for that career, even if you choose to pivot or if you choose to do a different direction. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Particularly if you're like 18, 19, your idea of success may drastically change by the time you're like 25, 26. Like, it just might. It's okay if a definition of success changes. I think another thing that really doesn't help with this whole, like, I need to have my life together by the time I'm 30, is comparison. And I know that people have talked about this until the cows come home, and they did come home. But the other week, my phone died, and it's the first minute that I've had where I haven't been on my phone and haven't been on social media. And I had like a few days where I just didn't have access. And like, yes, I know everyone's gonna say you could just go online and go on your computer or whatever. I was really trying to not do that because I just wanted to remember what it was like to not have a phone and not have social media. Like, it was so eye-opening, especially for how many times I reached for my phone, but to have it not even be able to access anything. It was peaceful. A challenge to you, so let me know in the comments if you do it. Have 2 to 3 days minimum. If you can go longer, but 2 to 3 days minimum. Don't go on your phone, don't go on your laptop or computer or whatever and log into social media and see how you feel. Because it really helped me. I was like, this is actually really nice. I'm just at home, I'm reading my books. I went on walks, spent time with my cats. Just give yourself a minute and just put the damn thing away. Put it away. This is why I think everyone thinks they're behind and they should have everything figured out by the time they're 30. Because as soon as you open it, especially if you're in your late 20s, everything we see is either, I just got engaged, I just got married, I just had a kid, I just bought a house, I got my second or third degree. Just give us some time. It's all of these things, and I think it's so easy to get wrapped up in and caught up in feeling that you're so far behind because someone online is doing it and they're your age or they're close to your age. Just because they've done it at a certain time doesn't mean you need to do it or you need to have done it by then. Say someone is 29 years old and they've just bought their house with their partner. You could then rush, buy your house at 29 and go into insane debt because you can't afford to do it, but you did it because you thought you had to keep, you know, appearances alive. Instead of just sticking to your own timeline, you could send yourself into a whirlwind of trouble. Like, it'll happen when it's meant to happen. Whatever's going to happen will happen. Obviously, you can't sit around and do nothing. You have to work for it, but at the same time, like, you can't force it either. Like, if it's not working and you've tried many times, a few different ways, and it's just not clicking, then it's time to move on. It's time to move on. Give something else a go, or keep doing it, but do something in the background. We compare ourselves so much of our behind the scenes to other people's highlight reels. Don't forget that looking successful doesn't mean that someone is actually fulfilled. You don't see any of it. I'm not saying that the rest of it is bad, but you just don't see the hard work that went into it. You just don't see everything. So you can't be judging and comparing yourself to them when all you're getting is a snippet, and you're comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight reel. One more thing is that putting this pressure on yourself to have everything figured out by the time you're 30 or 31 or 25, like, that pressure is going to cloud your judgment. It's going to cloud what you actually want in your soul. You won't know what direction you want to go in, where you want to see, like, how you see yourself, where do you want to be in 10, 20 years, because you will have taken on everyone else's idea of what their life and what they want to have for their life, and you'll take that on as your own. And if you do that, you're going to lose yourself along the way, and you don't want that. That pressure, you just don't need to do that to yourself, because the more pressure you put on you and your decisions and where you go, the less clarity you are going to have. And you need to remember your timeline is your own. Life isn't a race. Stop rushing yourself. You don't need to rush. The more you push, the more you pressure, the more you rush, the less answers you are going to receive from you, from the inside of you, from your heart. But, like, it's true though, follow your heart. And people might say that's cringy, but at the end of the day, it's not wrong. If you follow someone else's heart, you're in trouble. To wrap up this little burrito, maybe confusion isn't a failure. Maybe confusion means that you're growing. Maybe you're reassessing what really matters to you. And it's okay to reassess. That's normal. It's expected. Even if the answer that you come to or the conclusion that you come to is unexpected, it's expected that you change your mind. What comes from that is where your life is going to take you and where you're going to take your life. I hope this helps someone. I was just thinking about all the pressure that we put on ourselves, and I thought maybe someone else needs to hear this. So I hope this helped you. If it did, please let me know in the comments below. So don't forget, you are not behind. I appreciate you if you made it this far, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone.